Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
That brings us all back, doesn't it? All right. September 6th, 2021, the Malcolm Go podcast. Tony, Tyler, Kenneth Prince from down in the South.
Yeehaw.
We are 6 days post, or whatever we're at. We're a few days post Brady coming home. And I don't know. I don't know how to feel. It's a very odd weekday. I remember weeknight, whatever, weekend night. Sunday was just I was very excited. I got up it was like Christmas morning to me. Woke up. Why, you are so loud, KP.
They do that to the alpha of the pod. They like to make the alpha male the loudest.
Volume is so loud. Whatever. Doesn't matter. So I woke up. Could have been Christmas morning. And got ready. Got excited. And I was amped. Put on my Tom Brady jersey, which is now retired, by the way. You'll never see it again on me. I rose it to the rafters after the game. I expected a very, I think we all said we thought the Patriots would win, but all jokingly. I really thought the Patriots were going to get blown out.
I had them in a W. I really did, and I mean, it was kind of what I expected. Banged up defense. They were pretty injured. Pats didn't run the ball at all.
Zero.
We didn't do that. Did we have negative yards?
I think it was -4.
Well, Harris had -4. I don't know about the Mac might have.
I think the whole team had. Who else?
I think they ran for negative yards in this game.
Mac led the team in passing and rushing.
Yeah, it wasn't.
By the way, he is good. I wish Boston media would just cease with the compare. He doesn't have to be Brady, and I'm really
Well,
what do you mean have to? There's no chance. There's not that Mac's going to be bad, but there's literally no chance you could be Tom Brady. It's just like that.
Mahomes isn't going to be Brady.
No.
They need to relax. But he finally got the chance to run the offense. The most promising part was when Brady went down there and did this typical Brady shit, went down there and scored, and you were like, all right, well, here comes 3 quick ones and we're going to get blown out. And then Mac immediately responded.
Yeah, I was I wanted to go out before the game. The feelings in the stadium. I'll tell you, it was like, we got down there early. I wanted to be there as early as possible. My brother was fucking bringing terrible energy. Frankie says he's sick. And he shows up with just terrible energy. I wanted him at my house at 2:45. He shows up at 3:30, meandering, has to take a shit, says he's got a cold. And I said, this is a loser's attitude. I don't need the loser's attitude right now. And, it's an exciting moment for all of us. And we're all, excited. Ours packed up. We get a couple guys. We added a couple guys at tailgate, Tyler and another character. And, Tyler never comes down with us, but there's a few things I want to go over. First, they load up the car. Tyler brings a bottle of red wine, which is highly suspect from the
What a wild move.
It's a Sunday night. I mean, we're not talking a 1:00 game.
No, this is a Brady. This is a Brady, basically a playoff game atmosphere under the lights, Gillette Stadium in the lot, and you're gonna show up. I'm trying to bring it back to the 80s grit, Gillette Stadium. Not Gillette Stadium, but Foxborough and John. I'm trying to bring it back to 80s grit. And Tyler's giving me wine and cheese fucking tailgate.
80s grit? The last time I was at a game, it was the Cowboys game at home. I'm in the red seats, and I have a guy who's in his 50s, 6 rows up, screaming at me, telling me he wants to fight me because after every play, I'm turning around and giving him the finger. It's I bring the 80s grit. I mean, I was hammered that game.
Yeah, but I just can't have the red wine. The problem was I let him bring it. I didn't want to even drive it down there. I wanted Tyler to have to carry it with him. just so everyone could see that he was that type of person. But I wanted Tyler. You know, I said I'm no cups. I said you don't get any cups. You can have the wine, but no cups. You have to drink it.
Straight out of the bottle.
I wanted to embarrass you worse. I wanted to go to like the I party or big party, whatever it is, and get one of those like the plastic wine glasses.
I would have loved it.
I wanted to get you a nice little chalice.
I mean,
First of all, that was the type of atmosphere I was dealing with on Sunday.
don't come at me with the heat.
I had fake sick Frankie, and then I had red wine Tyler.
The most egregious thing was we get there. You know, they show up 20 minutes before kickoff starts, maybe 25. The LeConte show up real late. Parked next to him, right, is someone who take out a picnic table. They take out a white tablecloth. They have an entire meal.
This is nothing he is saying is an exaggeration.
They had grapes. They had grapes in a
brie.
in a
There was
bowl.
brie.
There was brie.
And I wanted to kick their table over. This is not the atmosphere. Don't need it.
No.
What do they think is
It
happening?
was two couples in their 60s, and you're like,
Yeah.
what is this?
I was
It
so happy it rained on them.
Oh, yeah.
So I couldn't have been happier. And
Sounds like everybody needs to come visit an SEC tailgate for one weekend and rehash.
there can't be a
I'll-
worse tailgate than the Patriots tailgate.
I'll
I
drink
can't
the
imagine any.
shit out of some red wine at SET tailgate.
If you walked into the University of Arkansas housing a bottle of wine, you need moonshine and you're gonna get smacked.
It would take me about 10 minutes to be a hero in that tailgate.
These
They'd be
people don't know
chanting
what
my
that
name.
is.
I don't know. People like a good. I don't know. There's just something about it was like a Cabernet. It wasn't even like
It
it wasn't even.
Chianti. I only drink Italian wine. I don't know what the
Chianti.
problem is here. You guys are
There's so much wrong with.
You guys are drinking
I
Truly.
just don't
Why
see
did-
a wine drunk vibing with the Brady comeback game.
Oh, on a
wine-
Sunday night?
Wine drunk is not a drunk that you want to be at a football. Wine drunk is the worst headache you've ever had. All you want to do is your stomach hurts, your head's pounding.
That sounds like
Your
someone who
teeth
drinks
are red.
a California Cabernet.
Yeah,
That's the type
I
of-
don't drink any wine
That's
for
what
this
you're
particular. I'm not joking. I think wine is on the spectrum of homosexuality. There's a lot of things that I think are on the spectrum. They're not gay, but they're almost there. Like a guy that's really into like interior design or something. I don't know. There's things like that. I'm just like, okay, he's like not. He might not have sex with men, but that's gay too.
It's not like you guys are hammering Bud Heavies. You
No.
guys are drinking. You're drinking berry Trulies in the parking lot and acting like you're these tough guys. Like, what is going on?
All right. Fair point.
Like,
But everyone knows I'm
And
on
you
a
guys
diet.
Think, you guys think whiskey?
Yeah, Tony's
you
on keto. Leave him alone.
You drink
Keto, baby.
Fireball shots like you're 19-year-old girls in
But
college.
if
Like,
you
gotta
did
prime the
start House and
tank.
Heavies,
You gotta prime the
if you-
tank.
if you do start House and Heavies, it's gonna directly correlate to the Patriots winning. I think that's
It's much more manly. I used to drink just Buds. Regular Buds, Bud Ice, Keystone Ice. Those were tailgate beers. Now we're fucking having wine and cheese events outside.
Trulies. It's just, yeah. I mean, honestly,
I'm really sickened by it. But anyway, we were there.
Wait. Can I have to? We have to read. Were you on security, Tyler?
oh no, I had decent tickets, decent seats, 304s, 3 rows up.
Using the
Oh,
threes,
good
that's
for
right
you.
above the boys. That's God's country, 204. We were lit in 204. I was really. I mean, we went, and as I said, I was keto, so you know, I don't want to keep getting into it, but I look really great. And we stopped, got a bunch of meat. My brother likes to cook. He cooked up some sausage, some steak tips. I got a rotisserie chicken. Just housed protein and drank for about 3 hours before the game. Starts to sprinkle a little bit, and you're like, the atmosphere was good though. It was like playoff atmosphere.
There was
it
was tense.
It was a lot of excitement in like you know when a Patriots game's like gonna be good.
Yeah.
You could tell from the minute you show up, you know what I mean? And especially a night game under the lights, fucking there had to be 25 ex-Patriots there. Jarvis Green's just hanging out by the porta potty. I'm fucking slapping hands. There's Brewski's there, Moss is there. I saw Dion Branch, Gostowski. Fucking who's that? The guy that was James Devlin was there. There was a million of them.
That's elite.
I'm sure there was even these guys were just sitting in the stands. They weren't even up in the booths. They were
Just
sitting
seats.
front row, like front row, like paying for tickets. And I'm like, what the fuck is Gostowski's drinking beer, no shirt on? Like he had his regular clothes on. Like
Is James Devlin allowed back on the team? I mean, we could use that.
Oh,
we could
well,
use
he
that.
has like a neck injury.
yeah, I think he had
That's
to
okay.
shut it down because of
Yeah.
his neck.
He has to sleep in
All
like
right.
a certain body chamber to not to.
He
paralyzed.
shifts the wrong way, sleeps on the wrong pillow. He's paralyzed for life.
He's out.
And you can just feel the atmosphere. There was so many people. A good amount of split jerseys, a good amount of Bucks jerseys, to be fair. I don't know if they were Patriots fans wearing Brady jerseys or they were just all Tampa fans. I mean, there was a lot of Buccaneers shit going around, but, no hostility. Everyone's fired up. We're all sitting outside, starting to sprinkle. You hear the fucking roar of the crowd. I'm like, oh, that's Brady coming out. You can already tell. Like, so many people went in. I think you can get in 2 hours before kickoff. Like, an hour before kickoff, you just hear this roar. I've never heard a roar pregame like that before.
No.
And I was like, oh, fuck, Brady just came out. Like, it must have been crazy. And, we all get in line. We're all pounding them. And it's starting to rain a little bit more. And I bring my rain jacket in just to be smart. And then it just becomes fucking torrential throughout the rest of the game. There's little pitter-patter moments where it's just sprinkling on you a little bit. Anyway, we get into the game. I'm drunk already because, again, protein only, babe. It's a protein only. This here is a protein only pod. And getting in the stadium, get up to my seats. Frankie and Vince are drunk, real drunk. Vince fell on me like 4 times. I don't know what happened. First of all, we don't sit in 204, so that's a rule. Not everybody abides by it, but my row does. If you sit in 204, you're mocked mercilessly, and people try to do it, and I won't accept it. I just won't accept it. And so I'm out there. They play the boring video, which was literally Julian Edelman makes better videos, like hype videos.
Yeah, it was fine. It was just
whatever.
Brady, yeah.
It was a Brady, here he was. It was like, no, there was 0 Belichick in it. Not one. I think they had one, like, Kraft hug. And then, they played that video and everyone's roaring. And, usually nobody usually gives a fuck. But, like, when they go, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's opponents, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Usually people boo a little bit, but nobody really gives a fuck because it's so anticlimactic. In this moment, everyone cheered, like, kind of just a regular cheer.
Yeah, there was like a mixed amount of cheering and booing. I mean, when I don't know what the 204s are, it's a cute section. There's like they kiss each other on the cheeks after big plays.
204
and
gets
stuff.
ugly. Listen,
It's
204
adorable.
gets after it.
But up where I was, up in the big boys section, way up top,
Don't disrespect 204.
I walked up. First guy, we're sitting next to. It's like this kid, and we're on the end. We're in seat 1, 2. First thing he said to us, he goes, "Hey, don't be afraid to stand in the aisle this game." No, I think we'll just stand in our seats. All right.
I'm an aisle stander.
We're like, all right, that was
Well
weird.
known.
We're like, that's weird. And then, all of a sudden this other guy comes with his daughter, and they're like, oh, you guys are on our seats, so these guys have to move down. We're like, all right, great. First thing he goes, sits down, stands up, and then he goes, fucking Brady's going out in an ambulance tonight, boys. I'm like, oh, it's different up here.
It's different in the 3s. The 3 sections, there's always a good brawl in the 3s.
Oh, they were screaming at each other. Two
Yeah.
Patriots fans who
You got to get after each other.
just screaming at each other.
I didn't see. You know what? I would have thought there wasn't any though, but I didn't hear any. Maybe there was somewhere else, but I didn't hear anybody like boo or say something like rude to Brady, like fuck you, Brady. If I heard, I would have imagined there would have been a right hook coming from all over the place.
They were screaming up there like, fuck, I hope Brady dies. He's fucking nothing without Belichick. It's like, did you catch last year? Like, I think the guy's
Things are
fine.
not looking great right now. Things aren't on the up and up.
That's the weird part about this team. It's like, it's frustrating because they are just their record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they are a 1-3 team, even though, like, I feel good about them. Like, I don't feel like they're bad. It's just,
I know. I feel
they
like
just
I feel
don't
so
win.
much more confident in this team than fucking last year's Cam Newton team for some weird reason. Like, I'm like, this team.
I mean, they should have won.
well, this game they should have won.
well,
could
they have
yeah.
a complete
I
team.
mean, they should have
kinda.
won. They should be 3-1.
They could be 3-1 right now, and then we're just talking completely different.
They
Yeah,
fucking
but they're
boned
just,
themselves. So anyway, Brady comes out, and then he comes out for his first drive, and everyone cheers, and there's the Brady chant, Brady, Brady, Brady.
That was cool.
I got booed.
Oh, he didn't.
He-
did not get,
That's
No.
that's what.
did not get booed.
He
They-
did get booed at one point.
Yeah, when, I mean, between the lines, it's a different
Yeah,
story.
exactly.
But when
Once
he
the
first
game
came
started,
out, yeah.
he got but
Oh, you said for his first drive.
when he
got
comes
booed
out
when he-
running out for it, you know what I mean? They started a
Oh.
Brady chant and all that shit, and it was awesome. And it was very short lived. But anyway, he goes right down, breaks the record, most fucking. I don't know. Was the first
didn't he go
drive?
3-0?
Nah, it was because they all fucked up. He was so they did it wrong on the stats on that throw. It was supposedly he was at 67 yards, but he was actually at 69, and they had to redo it.
It already
And then
broke
by
it.
the time, yeah, well,
That's
he
right.
broke it, but they fucked it up in the stats. And by the time they figured it out, they weren't gonna. I mean, Belichick would have had a heart attack. Billy would have had a heart attack.
They did stop for a second, but it was like
But it was so anticlimactic. It was
And
like they
they
were
said-
resetting the chains.
they also said they're like, and Tom Brady ties the NFL record for passing yards.
Well, he
That's
did.
what-
That's what they had it in the stats, is that he had tied it, and then it turned out he had broken it. But I mean, they couldn't. They were driving too. You know how mad Tom would have been if they
Yeah,
stopped.
I think Tom
again?
didn't want to stop or anything. They didn't even acknowledge it. They threw up a thing on the screen like, okay, Tom Brady now leading passer in NFL history, and that was
Well,
it. Wrap,
This
a
is the
wrap.
other thing I don't understand is like, why don't we say like the leading regular season passer? Because he's already has the most yards in history.
He does.
But what are we talking about here? We're talking about only regular season numbers. So why
I don't
you
understand
just
why that
say,
counts. It
I
should
don't
be-
get it either. Why don't touchdowns are touchdowns?
Yeah. If you earned your way to the playoffs, they should count.
Yeah, if you
Well,
score
that's because he would have more than everyone by 1 million, and they don't want that. That's bad for their agenda.
Well, that's
think
what
a
I'm
lo-
saying, but it's always been that. Like when Peyton broke the record and Breeze, they didn't count Brett Favre's,
They gave
Playoff
Drew Brees a fucking certificate. The Hall of Fame guy was there.
that was embarrassing.
I mean, I'm like, what is going on? I mean, like, Tom Brady gets a fucking. What do you call? He got nothing. A
He
picture. He got what equaled like a drive home safely thing at the end of the game. You know what
he
I mean?
doesn't even keep AFC Championship trophies. What's he gonna do with a certificate that says you have the most yards?
Not a trophy, but give me a video. Give me something of him, like his first pass. Like, hey, here's his first yardage, and then now here is it breaking the record. I don't know, fucking something. Think of something. Be creative.
I don't know.
I
I don't need
understand he's
anything.
the visitor, but come on. I mean, I thought Belichick was going to stop the game as a competitive advantage, but didn't happen.
It didn't really
When
matter.
they were on like
weren't-
the 20.
Yeah, and
They were
weren't-
driving.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a weird game. Defense actually played really well.
Yeah.
J.C.
balls out.
Jackson is a bona fide number one.
He's a
That's why
stud.
this shit doesn't matter.
He's just a stud. And,
And
Judon,
J.C. Jackson's about to get PAID. He's about to be Scrooge McDuck real quick.
Judon is the best player on the team by far.
By
But I don't know
mile.
if y'all caught it since you were at the game, but Collinsworth boldly stated, the man said, without hesitation, he said, that's Dietrich Wise made like one tackle. He said, that's why he's the best player on this football team.
Dietrich
Collinsworth
Wise?
said that.
That's a quote.
Dietrich Wise isn't the best football player in the Saga Sachems. I still don't understand that re-signing, and I think they regretted it immediately after they got Judon.
Dietrich Wise?
No,
Yeah.
No, he's
I
fine.
think he's been fine. He's good.
He's
If
good.
you want to tell me fine, I mean
What's he getting paid? He's not getting paid like
any
15 million
too
a year?
much.
He's getting like $3 million. No, you know who's
Yeah,
getting too much?
he's
Is
getting more than that.
Hightower. Hightower's getting $8 million this
Pay
year.
him for the leadership.
Hightower's awesome. Hightower's going to
I
come.
mean,
with
I
the
love
role.
Hightower, but like $5 million, $8 million,
He
$8
take
million.
a cut his last year. Look, he's got a half a sack this year, Dietrich Wise. What the hell is his stat? I mean, he's got what? Nothing.
Why didn't so Bentley was hurt?
Bentley was hurt in this game.
That-
Look, 4 years, $22 million. That's what he got.
fine.
Is it?
'Cause what they do with these new contracts is the last year is like a team option, and it's worth $12 million.
Yeah.
So you're getting
yes.
3 years for 10 and 1 year for 12 that you're never going to actually see. So
And it's all incentive based. So he has a half sack. He has to get 7. It's not happening.
if he breaks the sack record, he's going to get eight of that million. So
Dietrich Wise, I don't even know if he's ever on the field. He's just got long arms and
He's
long.
massive.
he's
got, like-
solid. I mean,
he's just
you
a
need,
long
He's a hog.
guy.
you need more than one defensive lineman.
But here's the thing: is
We
that
can't-
they signed Henry Anderson, who's now out for the year. He's the exact same player as Dietrich Wise, exact same.
Yeah,
Except out for the year.
yeah,
now
you
he's
need players.
but now
Players are good.
I guess.
We do. And you know what? We do have players because now we have the Jamie Collins.
Yeah, exactly.
Collins
but
is
here's
back.
the thing, though: you pay fucking Dietrich Wise and Henry Anderson, who basically fucking, they take each other's snaps. They basically are, they X each other out. You pay for fucking Cody Davis, a guy, I don't know if he makes special teams tackles or not. You pay these guys, Brandon King. That's 4 guys. So now you can't afford to keep fucking Stephon Gilmore. I'm not going to second guess people, but let's face it. There's at least $6-7 million there that could have been saved on random players that we could have gave to Gilmore.
Gilmore was probably looking for he's probably looking in like the $17 million range.
No,
He's looking.
He would have played for the Patriots for $14 million.
It came out. He was asking 15. So yeah, 14. I mean, Bill's not paying that man 14 million when we don't know if his hip's okay or whatever the fuck's wrong with him.
His quad tore off. He's fine. He's probably not even hurt. He probably just didn't want to play.
He definitely isn't that hurt. He's definitely going to play
the
probably
minute
pretty soon.
the minute he's able, which is. I think,
But this is what Bill does. He did this with Seymour. He's done this. He did it with who? Malloy.
this is a lot later than
Yeah.
fucking those guys.
The other thing that sucks is they didn't really get much back for him, but I don't
can't
know
expect
what
much.
was there. And I think there's a part of him too that he does say like, hey, we got these offers. Like, where do you want to go?
That's what part when they said they were cutting him today. I was like, they definitely are just letting him pick where he wants to go. And he was just like, just no AFC East and no Tampa, probably.
Yeah.
I got very nervous when they were like, "Oh, the Chiefs are going to get him." I was not.
You don't even have any money. Like that's just how rare it is that a defensive player of the year, all pro corner, would come off, be a free agent in the middle of the year. Not even the middle, like the first quarter of the year.
What if he's just like not okay? What if Bill just like knows that the man
That's what
is
I'm
just
saying.
unwell?
I do love how everyone just comes out like immediately hot takes, like fucking guy, blah blah blah. And it's like, what if Gilmore's like, hey, listen, but I'm out like 30%. I'm gonna collect my $7 million, send me down to Carolina. Like this is all fine.
I'm gonna go live at home.
He's
He's
from
from Rock Hill.
Yeah, he's from Charlotte area.
He played at South Carolina.
Yeah, that's his home. So like, good.
He's like he lived 15. He grew up 15 minutes from Charlotte. These are his people.
Yeah, so he'll love it, and maybe he'll play next year. But
saw
I mean,
Gilmore's
Belichick's
wife-
track record in fucking dumping cornerbacks early is pretty phenomenal.
He drilled it with Revis.
Revis couldn't have been more of a fucking.
Akeem
bullseye.
Talib was another one.
I don't
Talib
know
was
about
Talib-
Talib. Talib had a good run after he left the Pats.
Yeah, Talib dominated
and
in Denver.
he didn't leave.
No,
He
they
got
kicked him out for
re-signed.
not playing in the AFC Championship game. They're like, you can go now. Remember he came
Malcolm
out-
Butler.
No, we got hurt. Wes Welker fucking gave him the kill shot. You remember that?
He came out at halftime,
Welker broke his body.
Welker kill shotted him.
and
Belichick was bullshit.
and Belichick's like, all right, well, you're not coming back.
No, he left in free agency to go to Denver. I mean, that was maybe the only one.
He was good in Denver. I was wrong. Malcolm Butler's another prime.
Butler was statistically like the worst cornerback in football when
Butler
he left.
was perfect.
Yeah.
Butler
And then
got
Logan?
paid,
A
and
lot.
we had J.C. Jackson waiting in the wings.
Yeah,
Jonathan Jones.
Asante Samuel, I don't think is fucking was. I mean, he might have had one good year in Philly, but was he worth his contract? Definitely not. He won't shut his fat fucking mouth either. No, I mean he's just got a great
Logan?
track record. Logan Ryan's okay.
He was as good as he was. Like he's always just
thought-
kind of been good. He's like a B or a C corner.
Yeah,
like
he's
just
good.
fine.
He's going to be a really solid technical number 2 corner
yeah.
throughout his career.
Can cover bad number 2s, but good number 2s might kind of burn him.
Yeah.
Like he's good.
Wait,
but he's,
speaking of our secondary, Kyle Duggar, good. That guy is good.
Yeah, and nobody wanted to take it from me. The minute they
love
drafted
Doug.
him, I said, I've watched so much film on this because everyone was like, who's this guy from like this Division 12 school? And they're like, this kid's going to go in the first or second round. I was like, who? So I looked him up. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is unbelievable. But of course he was playing fucking Pop Warner kids, but he was
yeah.
like,
he was returning punts. like,
he was flat out
returning
embarrassing.
punts and
Yeah.
shit.
Returning
No,
punts, playing
he is-
safety.
he's
He's-
he's bigger and stronger than he should. Like he
He's
shouldn't be
very,
that-
very athletic.
Yeah, he's like on the NFL field and he's doing stuff that you're like, oh shit. Like he
He
kind of does that to
threw
you a lot.
their Pro Bowl guard back 10 steps and fucking made a tackle in the backfield on Leonard Fournette. And everyone's like, in the stadium, you noticed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it was like on TV, but I was like, oh my fucking, did you see Duggar just destroy that play?
If he was a offensive player,
Yeah.
he would be like everyone wouldn't stop talking about him.
Yeah.
Because he'd be like DK Metcalf. They'd be like, oh my God, look
Yeah.
at this guy. He's a
He's a-
freak.
He would
He's
be Odell
unbelievable."
Beckham.
Yeah, they'd be like, this
That was-
guy's a freak. But it's like on defense, it's not like the same type of plays he's making, so it's not as cool.
It's not as impact. It doesn't impact everything, and you don't have to like account for him. And he's not making sacks really or interceptions. It's just like solid defense.
Yeah, he's
Like
playing-
when he gets a pick six and he like busts ankles, it'll be top.
They should let him
top
return punts. Get
I
fucking
love
Gunner out of there. Get a
Gunner, but Gunner's willing to just get fucking destroyed, and I respect it.
He does.
so
He does
much.
have the innate ability to be like, "Fuck it, I will lose my brain here in this field. I don't care about CTE. Never cared. So fuck yeah, he really does not care. He's 5'9", 170. He runs right into 6'6" linebackers.
The man gets speared. It's hysterical. I mean, it's almost funny.
It's an interesting. He's got an interesting perspective on punt returns. He just runs right into people. So I thought the defense played out of its mind. The run game honestly was an embarrassment. But I mean, even at home, I know that Tampa's got a good run defense, but at home, you have to be able to move the football running, especially with a rookie quarterback. Like,
Well,
you
these
don't know what you're
toss
gonna get.
sweeps are bullshit. These tosses, like you can't. You're not faster than them on the edge. That's not how football works.
I
We
don't
don't have. Fuck. I'd love to know what's wrong with Trent Brown's fat calf. His strained calf that's been. I don't know what a strained calf is. What is a strain in medical terms? All I know is that it's kept Trent Brown, a $9 million tackle, out for 4 weeks. I have no idea what kind of injury this is, but he didn't practice again today. I mean, what the fuck? They had one healthy starting offensive lineman at practice today. One.
And now everyone has COVID, and we're in deep shit.
So the left side of the offensive line's got COVID. Win in Onwenu. Who even knows if they're fucking vaccinated? So they might not be able to play this week at all. Trent Brown was out with his calf boo-boo. And then Mason had an abdomen injury. So you had David Andrews, nobody else. I don't even know if they have enough linemen to field a team this week.
They're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because
They should walk all over Houston. Houston is so bad, and I don't know if they're going to be able to win now.
Houston is actually, they're okay, actually. They're not that
No,
bad.
with Tyrod Taylor, they were okay. With this David Mills cartoon character, they stink. They're bad.
They got shut out 40-0 in an NFL game. Do you know how hard it is to get shut out in an NFL game?
I do
at all?
because the Arkansas Razorbacks were shut out. But anyways,
Yeah, but that's college, and Georgia is just so much better than everybody. Where did the Hogs
except for
drop
that
to,
one
by the way,
team.
on that?
they're at 13. We got Ole Miss this week. This is
Yeah.
a Patriots podcast. We don't talk about last week. We'll
Yeah,
talk next week.
We only talk about good stuff. We don't care about last week.
Nope.
So, yeah, we don't even know. So, fucking, the whole offensive line played like dog shit. Right tackle, again, was a mess. Onwenu had 2 holds. Fucking Win was a mess. But they need
Isaiah Wynn was getting dumped. Like you guys, I don't know if you could see it on TV, but that man was getting destroyed off
whoever that
the
Joe
jump.
Tryon guy is. Fucking stunted like 3 times and hit Mac Jones harder than I've ever seen a Patriots quarterback hit.
But that man got right back up because his balls are titanium.
Mac Jones stuck in there for a lot of big throws.
Yeah, he
Took
did.
some good hits and
He
made
does.
some plays.
He's got an odd thing. Even his touchdown passes, like he doesn't get happy feet. I don't want to say, but he doesn't set his feet. Like it's very odd. You know how like Brady looks like prototypical quarterback, right? Drop back 5 steps, stand tall in the pocket, scan with your eyes like fucking Terminator. Pick your read and make the throw. Mac
There's, like-
Jones at the end of his drop, his like legs are like noodles. They look like noodles.
Would you set your feet when you know you're about to get fucking
No,
destroyed?
but I mean, even like for instance, the Jonnu Smith touchdown. I've watched that play a few times, and I know it's a quick pass and everything, but he takes like 2 steps back, and his legs are like, I don't know, they look like noodles, wet noodles, and he just lobs the ball forward. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's a good throw. It's high, it's a little bit high, but I'm like, I don't know, it's just weird. I mean,
Tight
it
ends-
works for him. I don't know. It's
Tight
just
ends played
odd.
fine.
It's
The
just-
whole the receiving core looked good. This game.
Every single receiver, yeah. I didn't think anybody played bad. I mean, N'Keal Harry came back, paid 25% of snaps, made a
All
big
right,
comeback.
all right,
KP,
all right,
KP, it's
all right.
coming. You got 2
He had
games,
10
babe.
He was
He
on
had
the field.
1 catch for 11 yards, and it was
What?
like it was the
That's
worst.
all he was asked. That's all he was
worst,
asked for.
Slowest, it was the
See the
slowest
strength, though?
route.
Did you see the strength?
He was
You know
on the
who's
field
good?
a lot.
He's had 20. He only played 15 plays, so
He's also very noticeable.
he's up. He looks like there's he like when Cam Newton was on the field. You're like, wow, there's a football player on the field. That's what N'Keal Harry looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Stop.
So if like,
Stop. I can't.
why is Gunnar Olszewski allowed to be on a football field, but N'Keal Harry can't? N'Keal Harry looks so much more like a football player. If you want to, give me N'Keal Harry over Gunnar. I don't care.
Yeah, N'Keal Harry's like that guy that comes out like before the game and you don't know the other team.
Yeah, like
when
with his
and you're
jersey
like,
rolled
oh,
up.
shit! Like, and then you get in the middle of the game and you're like, oh, I thought you were supposed to be good.
I mean, he looked good in warm-ups. No, he had the one comeback. I think he's just gonna up his reps. This next week he'll do even more, and then the week after that he'll do even more. Probably get 2 touchdowns.
Will he ever have 100 yards receiving in a game?
No, he can't run 100 yards.
He's not a 100 yards guy. He's gonna have a lot of red zone touchdowns, and KP's gonna eat his words.
I don't think he will probably never have 100 yards receiving in a game. That's kind
Nah,
of
he doesn't have
Kendrick
the
Bourne
speed
is
for
our
it.
number 1, by the way. Kendrick Bourne is the
he's
number 1 receiver.
not.
Bourne is a 2. Aguilar is probably 1.
Myers is our number 1 he's like third in the
Oh,
league in
yeah.
receptions.
Yeah, Myers has never had a receiving touchdown in his career.
That doesn't make any sense.
He has like 300 catches.
By the way, he's just like our quarterback too. He's like definitely the backup.
He's definitely the backup quarterback. Like
That's- yeah.
Brian Hoyer's not the backup quarterback. It's fucking or Stidham. It's Jacoby Myers, and he's good at it too.
Is Stidham?
This is
I
the
mean
worst
that
part.
throw was unbelievable.
It was better than any
Yeah.
throw fucking Hoyer made, or fucking Cam Newton for that matter.
He did drop that right in.
Yeah.
That was weird too. That was a flea flicker off a run.
It was a double reverse throw, is what it was. He
No, it was a trap. It was a
They
we
ran
a
it to
trap.
they handed it off to Harris. Harris ran to the left, and then he stopped right behind the left tackle, turned and pitched the ball backwards, and then he threw it.
One of the most dangerous
Two
plays
of
I've
them.
ever seen. Like so many things could have gone wrong.
I thought that Harris lined up to the right of Mac Jones. He handed it to Harris, who was coming left, and then he pitched it to Jacoby Myers, who stepped back a few steps and threw it.
Yeah, it was a run.
Harris
Yeah, it was
Harris
a run.
was running
Right.
it up the middle. It's like a kind of, what you said was right. It's like a flea flicker, but it was like a trap. They were running like a draw, and he pitched it back, and Jacoby Myers made one of the best throws of the night, including
Dunked it right to Aguilar. For all that's been said about his hands, has been good.
Yeah, Aguilar's been solid.
Aguilar's been solid. Everyone's did his work. Did this doing short, quick shit and getting up the field. Old school Patriot football, horizontal football. I love it.
They're moving the ball. They've moved the ball pretty much every game. They just
Also-
suck in the red zone.
Hunter Henry's good. Hunter
refuse-
Henry is good.
They
Yeah.
refuse to throw the ball in the end zone is the problem. I don't
Hate
think
it.
Mac Jones has thrown the ball in the end zone once, and it was a touchdown, right? That was it.
So-
If you
Was it
scan
2
all
touchdowns?
4 games, he's thrown the ball in the end zone once, and it was that pass to Jonnu Smith, I think.
He threw into Hunter Henry. That was Hunter Henry caught
Was
one.
it not in the end zone?
Yeah,
though?
he might have caught it. and ran.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
He only threw one ball into the end zone.
Well, they don't get past the 30 very well. Like, they get to the 30, and that's where all drives halt, and then Folk is just kicking.
I'm also
field goals.
out on Brandon Bolden carrying the ball at all.
at this point, what are you gonna do? Because Belichick is just he holds so staunchly to his coaching, like his coaching Bible, which is if you fumble, I don't give a shit about you for at least
7 weeks.
it's a minimum.
They've all fumbled. Every single one of them has
I
fumbled
know,
except
but-
for him.
Harris at least built up goodwill, was good for like 2 years. He's the starter. There's no other option. I mean, I'm honestly not even joking with you that I don't think that it's absurd to think Brandon Bolden's going to start this next game. Or, well, not
I
this next
can't.
game.
Well,
No,
Harris is hurt.
you heard his fingy.
Something's wrong with him because he's not playing many snaps.
I'm telling you. They were switching it up. I mean, Harris, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Bolden,
Todd Gurley right now. Todd Gurley sitting at home, just
he's
patiently
been
waiting.
finished for 4 years.
Yeah,
He's
Todd
been
Gurley
finished.
can't run. He has something
I'm
wrong.
okay
with
with that. None of
He's got
them
hip-
can run
he's got
either.
hip dysplasia,
Does he
like
have
a
a hip
German
issue?
shepherd.
Yeah.
Like a German shepherd. I don't know. But I'll tell you, to the Sony Michelle trade looks worse and worse by the game.
Woo! And
Kill
I'd
for my
love to
boy
be-
Sony.
All I want to do is be all over Twitter right now. I bet you wish you had Sony now. I just want to go find every single person that had taunted me saying Sony was good and saying, look, you bet you fucking had him now, don't you?
We just-
Brandon Bolden's running toss sweep.
Hit Spike King right off the head with some Sony takes.
I will. There's no takes. It's a fucking fact of life. Sony Michelle would be the best pass blocker on the team, number one, for a start. Number one pass blocker, probably easily the second best runner, and probably your second best pass catcher too.
Best? Who's good?
No, I mean Harris.
None of them are good at
Harris
any
is
of
the
those
best
things.
runner.
Yeah.
Harris is the best runner, and
Harris
nobody
can
else.
run.
And Bolden is probably your best pass blocker, and he stinks.
He's not even a good pass blocker. He just technically knows who to block. So by default, he just gets in front of him.
Gets
and
in
they-
the
Yeah,
way.
I mean, I would say
It helps.
none of them excel at the three things. Harris is good at running, but we don't block, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line is. I don't know if literally Dante Scarnecchia must just make everybody good
Oh, he's
because
so good.
he's like, what is he doing? Like, is he really retired? What can't he just? Does he live somewhere else? Can he work like 40 hours a week?
Can he zoom in? Can he just come
Anything?
zoom?
Just be like, tell the guys what to do. They don't know what
You know
they're
how
doing.
Nice it must be to be in your late 70s and just be drunk at like 2:00 and no one can yell at you.
Yeah. All your kids are gone.
Yeah,
Nobody-
there's no responsibilities.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a bill you have to even consider. There's nothing. You don't have to do anything.
Where's-
Dinner's already made from the night before, and you're just
Oh, you know his wife throws
Yeah.
together a nice Sunday gravy too.
Yeah, and
the
he's got-
Scarnecchia house must smell like so much garlic on a Sunday. He's like, babe, I haven't had a Sunday sauce in 55 years. I've been coaching in the NFL since 1941. He hasn't had a Sunday gravy.
he's in the parking lot just of some high school practice, just drinking beers, watching
What?
practice.
Not even paying attention to anybody except for that 180-pound offensive lineman, thinking of why they should be fucking cross blocking and
Yeah.
pulling the guard.
Hmm.
I don't understand. I feel like coaching offensive line, I don't know. It doesn't seem that hard, to be honest with you. I mean, you're running the play. Here's the play. Block this guy. I don't know. I played offensive line. The play is drawn up for you, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not a
there's
professional offensive
there's a little
lineman.
technique into working a double team and shifting your hip over, so both of you like seamlessly as you go off the double team, you go to
Isaiah
linebacker
Wynn-
and you're in the right spot. There's
Isaiah
some
Wynn is a
technique.
first-round pick, left tackle. He's going to be replaced next year. If they don't draft a first-round left tackle next year, I would be surprised.
I'm cool if we're getting bullied by like J.J. Watt and Aaron Donald. We're getting bullied by no names.
Well,
Like,
Vita Vea is a monster.
I mean, Tampa's
I mean,
D-line
yeah,
is one of the
okay.
best in the league.
Ndamukong Suh is 41 years old.
washed. He's washed.
40 years old. The Patriots bullied him in Miami 10 years ago when he was in his 20s. They bullied him in the Super Bowl when he was on LA. And now all of a sudden they can't block him. They can't block fucking Vita Vea was
The Saints have a decent D-line too.
The Saints have a decent D-line. Miami's got a half-decent D-line. The Jets have a very
The Jets had a good D-line.
half-decent
Like, so
D-line.
But like
We
decent, we're getting beat by decent. What's gonna happen when we play good?
Well,
good,
who's
though?
good? I think we just played some 4 like good defenses.
Tampa's probably the best. And they didn't even
Of
have
those-
Pierre-Paul in the game, right? They didn't even have Pierre-Paul.
No.
He was not even in the game. So, I mean, I don't even know who's better than that. Who's got the best 4 pass rushers in the league? Maybe the Patriots.
Well, it's like the Arizona,
Arizona, yeah, Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt. That would be a
Miles Garrett, and
oh,
fucking
Cleveland. They're coming to town.
Cleveland's
That'll be a-
really, really
That'll
good.
be a fucking
Cleveland's
party.
got a good team. The Rams have a good D-line.
Yeah, Aaron Donald. I mean, there's a lot of teams.
The Boses.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
San Diego.
Pittsburgh.
We have to play them, and I'll always call them San Diego.
That's yeah. So, is there any chance Mac is ever going to be as good as Justin Herbert?
I don't know. Justin Herbert looks really fucking good.
Justin Herbert's
It's so
amazing.
different. It's just not fair. He's in like an offense where they're letting him do that shit, and we just objectively are like holding Mac back from that
I think
stuff.
the Patriots would love to be the most boring team in the country.
I don't know. I don't have that much like I don't know what the alternative is. Like everyone's like, "Oh, throw the ball downfield." It's like, for what point? So we can throw an interception? Like he can't right now, obviously.
Well, no,
or else
I
they
was
would.
game. I was game when they were like when they realized they couldn't run it, and they just went back to the Tom
The
Brady
quick
offense.
passes,
That was
yeah.
fun.
That's the old Tom Brady thing. Like, okay, the running game is being completely shut out right now. 3-yard slants to fucking Jacoby Myers all game. That's your run game now, and it worked perfectly. And then
Yeah, I love that.
And literally, they were going down the field to win the game, and the fucking D lineman swatted that last little slant right at the perfect
He's
time.
wide open too. I mean,
Wide
that was
open Jacoby
brutal.
Myers would have had at least 8.
I mean, it
What
doesn't
were they-
matter. That kick though. What do you think? 4th down, do you go for it? I like kicking it. I don't mind.
I
It was
like
fucking
kicking it too.
I was at the game. It was torrential. It was a
I mean,
torrential
that
hurricane.
thing was good. That thing was good from 56. That's how far.
Well, it would have been good, but it hit the fucking post.
But is there any factor that the Pats are like 2 for 9 on third down?
That's what Bill said. He's like, well, we were 2 for 9 on third down.
It's not
raining.
like we were crushing it on third
No.
down. Like, and they were like, oh, you think they were holding Mac up for like, so we did. It's like, no, none of that matters. Like, they were just trying to win the game, and
Yeah.
Folk barely missed a kick.
Yeah.
He hit an upright on a
The
56-yarder that
in
had
the
the leg.
pouring rain.
Yeah.
The defense.
Is it bad? Is it bad that I'm like borderline happy he did? Because if he makes that, Brady's going directly down the field.
Yeah, there was no way where we're stopping him, but you got to take that fucking.
Yeah, that
You-
would have been the best ending to the game.
It
Brady
would've
would have
been-
all down
It
to
would have been an ironic, perfect ending to it. Yeah,
Belichick on defense, coaching
trying to
on
stop
def-
him,
trying
but
to
there
co-
would have been no
yeah.
hope. I mean, there would have been no hope. Jonathan Jones got hurt, and fuck. I mean, Brady was so dialed in at the end of that game. Like they had to kick a field goal at the end there, and Antonio he threw the most perfect pass maybe I've ever seen him throw.
right in front of
Two of them,
Right in
bro.
front of
Both. No, the first one. I'm telling you, if Antonio Brown doesn't lose it in the lights, I don't know if you could tell that in
It
person.
was out of bounds though. That first one was out of
No,
bounds.
it wasn't. No, it. They showed it like 9 times. That thing was dotted. We had
Really?
no hope of.
I
oh
missed
my
it. The last
God.
one couldn't have been more perfect. He was like, it hit Antonio Brown in stride, in the hands, at the back line, and he just bobbled it.
It was on a rope too.
Yeah, it was the best pass. One of the best passes I've seen Brady make, and I mean it was perfect. And he dropped it, and I was Jesus Christ, can't believe he dropped that. And then they kicked the field goal. We go all the way down. I mean there was no hope. We really the only reason we should have went for it was like that same thing, the same reason we went for 4th and 2 in Indianapolis 20 years ago because we weren't going to stop him again. Like Brady.
Nope,
had to
that was
make-
analytics. Analytics. He learned that from a high school football coach at Pulaski Academy here in Little Rock, Arkansas.
What
Ask
analytics?
Bill. Next time you talk to Bill, ask him about it.
But what does that have to do with anything? I mean, the analytics weren't the analytics say go for it? Didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't go
Percentage.
for it. He
No, he
didn't go
did
for
go
it.
Yeah, but he should have.
In
Oh, this time.
Indianapolis, he did. Yeah.
No, this time I think it made
No, I was
sense.
talking about
to kick it.
Indianapolis.
No, I wouldn't have went. I would have went for it here. I would have rather have gone for it just because there was so much time left. Even if he hit it, there was 60 seconds left, and they had 3 timeouts. Tampa.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they did that part. How they did that part of this because they didn't make mistakes. Whatever. I mean, I liked kicking it. I mean, the kick was good. It just was barely off. Whatever.
The kick. I mean, even if he if he made it, we still would have had to stop him.
It was a shocker.
All he had to do was get in for field goal range. That was it.
You knew they had a chance when the Pats were struggling in the first half, and they left at halftime
and
7-6.
leading. Yeah,
It was awesome.
Yeah.
That was when I was like, oh, they're
they're gonna win this game.
yeah, I really did think that.
The whole
The game
and
was so ugly. It was what we needed. We
it
needed
wasn't
like
even ugly. They played good
gross.
defense, and their offense was solid. I mean, Tampa's got a good defense. They haven't played up to their their good
They're
defense
all
as
banged
last
up
year.
too. They have nobody in the secondary.
They started Richard Sherman, and fucking Mac Jones was embarrassing them all over
Sherman
the
was
field.
targeting him.
Sherman, they were actively targeting Hall of Famer Richard Sherman all game with fucking Myers, with anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole world.
What? So where are they going forward? What do they have coming up?
We
They
have Houston with no line.
And then Dallas.
We have
You can beat both of those teams. I'm not scared
I
of
mean,
either.
you
of those.
just beat. You should have beat Tampa.
Dallas might be the best team in the NFC.
And
They're
The
there.
Buccaneers beat them.
It's Dallas, it's the Rams, and it's
the
Bucs.
Cardinals.
Cardinals are undefeated.
Cardinals are good, but
They beat the Rams and the Seahawks, right? I don't know if they beat the Seahawks. They definitely beat
Yeah,
the
they're
Rams.
undefeated.
Seahawks.
Relax. I don't think Dallas hasn't played anybody, and that division stinks.
I would never. The Patriots beat the fucking Cardinals last year. There's no way I think that Cliff Kingsbury, a guy who Belichick drafted, could outcoach Belichick in a football game. I don't care what you say. I don't care how stacked the roster is. Belichick's going to outsmart him every single time. He got fired from Texas Tech. What did he accept?
He
the
had-
offensive coordinator job at USC.
He had Patrick Mahomes and didn't win in college.
Patrick Mahomes didn't win. He should have won every single
team was
championship.
horrendous. Patrick Mahomes used to throw for like 600 yards in
Yeah,
those
but
games.
that's the problem with Texas Tech is that that's what they always do. There's like guys that have won the Heisman there, and you'd be like, who is this guy? He, like, don't even get drafted. Wins the Heisman because he throws for 25,000 yards in a season.
Yeah, they always have those like system
12
quarterbacks.
miles.
Yeah, system
What's the guy's
quarterbacks.
name? What's his name? Something White. I remember when I was in college, something White. He had like an outrageous like senior year. I think he got drafted in like the 6th round. Didn't even play. And then it's just been like that forever. That's why like slot receivers are always from there. Amendola, Welker, always pretty good because they just get a shitload of receptions.
So here's the rest of their October. They have Texans, Cowboys, Jets, Chargers.
I mean, they have
3-1.
They have to win 3 of those. Have to. You gotta. I mean, I predicted after that loss, I think that they're gonna end up with 11 wins, and that's gonna be a tough stretch.
After that, it's not too bad. After
I think you can go 2-2 and be okay, but then you'd have
Yeah.
to go on a run.
because after that, the only teams you have left are you play the Browns and you play the Bills twice. Besides
I'm
that,
not
the
scared
rest
of
of the schedule.
Any of those teams.
You
I'm
gotta
scared
win-
of Baker
they
Mayfield.
haven't-
None.
They haven't won a home game yet. They have to win their home games, which is Dallas, Cleveland, Buffalo. If you can win those 3, you're in pretty good shape. But I mean, those are tough asks. Dallas at home, Cleveland at home. I think they could beat Cleveland no matter what.
They have the Jaguars still on the schedule. They have the
yeah.
Colts. They have
The
the
Jags.
Titans, the
P.U.
Falcons.
They've got
the
some bad
Panthers.
teams, but they still have to beat good teams. You
God,
can't-
that Miami loss is looking worse and worse.
Yeah, but they had Tua then, and they would have won if he didn't fumble. So
That's the problem with this team is that loss really does kill them. They should 2-2 is like reasonable, but they have to win a close game. They have to start winning close games.
and
Ugh.
it's not even. It's never. No game has been lost because of Mac though, which is the good thing.
Yeah, it's fine, but he definitely sure hasn't won us a game.
I mean, I would argue
Well,
he
he played keep away against the Jets and did good. He definitely would have won us this game if they let him fucking throw it.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the first game he would have won. This
Yeah.
was definitely his best game, and
I mean, his mentality, like, it gets me a little hot and bothered. Like,
I get a little
when
fired
he
up.
threw that last touchdown after Brady scored and then he went straight down the field, I don't know if y'all saw it. He didn't celebrate shit. He turned and ran to the sidelines and got on the tablet. It, like, got me going.
ready to fucking go. I love.
Oh.
He's got a very much a very very Brady-esque fucking
No.
fire about him.
that's actually the opposite of Brady. Because what Brady does after he throws a touchdown is he sprints 40 yards in the end zone and headbutts his teammate.
Yeah, no, he did that in the first one though too. So it's like he's a little different. He was just fired up, ready to go. He wants
Strange.
another one.
He also like didn't keep the ball that
Yeah.
he threw his first
Competitive.
touchdown
He's got a
pass.
competitive fire.
It was like, yeah, I don't
He's
want that
he's
ball.
got more Saban than, like, anything else. It's more like,
Yeah.
I want to win by 100,000.
His fucking SEC style really bugs me though. He does look like he belongs in a student section. You know what I mean? In the fucking in a polo shirt and Dockers and boat shoes.
He
Leave him
doesn't
alone.
look. He doesn't look like he should be quarterbacking my NFL team, but
He also has a quote.
But he is.
He said he's never seen snow before.
oh, that should be good. That's great.
So that sounds good for December game football.
Or leave him alone. Scuba suit Mac is going to be huge for the
Listen,
Pats.
Tom Brady
Scuba
was
suit Mac.
exactly a fucking Alaskan. All right, he figured it out. He played.
He's from
No-
San Francisco. That guy never seen snow.
He went to
Michigan.
Michigan though.
Yeah, he went to Michigan, but they never
They-
played in the snow. They
they
stopped
played in
playing
the
football
snow.
before the snow.
The Big Ten, they played Minnesota, Wisconsin. Half their games are in the snow in
I
October.
don't remember them ever playing in the snow. They don't play in the snow. Penn State.
Tyler,
Ohio
we don't
State.
need your negativity. Mac
Oh,
is he's an
no.
indigenous person.
I like Mac. I think
He's
Mac
Florida.
is he's good. He's fine. You know,
He's never
he's a
seen
rookie.
snow. Well, it doesn't snow. It's global warming anyway. It hasn't snowed here in like 4 years, really. When's the last time it really snowed? Really, the last time it really snowed was like 2014. I bought a brand new snowblower 3 years ago. I think it's all time has blown 11 inches.
Yeah, I've been in California. I was in California that year. It was
Yeah.
fantastic.
That year was crazy. So the year that they beat the Seahawks, it snowed 20 inches like every 2 days.
Yeah.
And they broke the record for most snow in Massachusetts history or Boston area history, whatever. I landed coming back from the Super Bowl, humble brag, and literally they were like, "This is the last plane that we were allowed to land in Boston." We landed, I swear to God, in a foot and a half of snow. I was like, why was that allowed? There was no reason for that to be allowed. My wife was 9.5 months pregnant, and my dog was dying. I lived
Jesus.
on a main street, and obviously on a main street the plows just go constantly. So you're fucking. I'm talking about the pile of snow at the end of my driveway at my curb was 4.5 feet high. I had all my Arizona clothes on, so I'm wearing like fucking my Super Bowl swag T-shirt, and my
Sandals
fucking
and a Hawaiian shirt.
foam finger. Obviously, my wife was so pregnant she couldn't really shovel anything at all. So I was like, oh my god, I couldn't even see my door. I basically had to swim through 25 inches of snow to get to my front door to get in my house, and I had to after flying all day, go out there and shovel, get ready for work the next day, and to buy all my Super Bowl gear.
I heard something today. This girl went to the doctor, right? And because her eyebrow hair was falling out.
Yeah.
So she had like no eyebrow hair. And doctor went to like, hey, so it turns out you have alopecia and it's in your eyebrows.
Oh wow.
He didn't say anything. He goes,
I'm a survivor.
she goes, yeah. She goes, he goes, I thought you'd be more surprised. She goes, I have no eyebrows. I am surprised.
very, fucking what's his name from Seinfeld? Fucking Uncle Leo.
I've got something. I don't know if I was listening to Carabas's podcast with Big Papi, and they had Edelman on, and they asked him.
I heard that.
They
I saw
said
the preview of that.
Brady tried to get him to go down there, and he said no. So that Edelman is a stan. He's
Didn't
a Bill stan.
But he smirked, didn't he? Or was that?
Yeah,
like
I mean,
was
it was
that-
very obvious that he was asked to go down there. But
Oh, but he pretended. He said no.
if he would have gone down there, I'm out. I'm out on
would've
the
said
whole.
no.
I'm out on that
Couldn't
whole
even
era.
No, they never released him, right? Or did they end up having to?
No, he played the next year. He got hurt. Remember Seattle?
No, he got hurt, but like, didn't they release him?
Now, like
Retired.
that he's retired. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's released, but
No, but like I said, like with Gronkowski, they retained his rights. They had him on the retired list, but retained his rights. I think for some reason, if memory serves
I
me
think
correctly, I think they
Edelman's-
released.
I think they essentially
Edelman.
bought him out.
I think they released Edelman so that he, after he
so
retired.
could retire.
But they never released Gronkowski. You know what I mean? That's why they were able to trade him.
Well, I think they were pretty sure Gronk was coming back.
Yeah. Or at least they hoped he was.
It was the vibe they had.
Yeah. Vibes. Fucking that guy no shows in this game. I was so annoyed with him. No showing. Fucking what a baby move. I don't care how many broken ribs you got. At least show up. What does it
Yeah.
fucking cost extra money for the team to fly you up?
You know what's nice though now? It feels like as a whole the Patriots can just kind of move on.
Yeah.
Like as a fan base, you can move on.
A lot. I tell you what,
Era's over.
Brady said a lot of nice things. He said everything right. Again, it's not even him that I have the problem with. It's fucking Guerrero and Tom Sr. Bug the shit out
Yeah.
of me.
And Kraft is
Tom
just-
Senior was there, bro. Tom Senior was in the seats. Yeah, he was
Show him?
crying before the game. He was tearing up.
What
Good.
is this?
He is a crier though. Was
The
he in a
whole
was he in
thing.
a stand was he in a seat or was he in a fucking booth?
No, he was where you
Club.
think he was.
He was in the
he
clubs?
was hidden in a club. So some
Got
dude,
him a club.
some dude in the threes couldn't get him up there with Tyler. They would
I
have
mean,
got
that
his
guy-
ass.
I would have been throwing stuff at Senior, 100%. I would have been Senior, shut your mouth, goddammit. Nah, I would've-
By the way, what about Brady? I thought I had a great tweet about Brady saying he'd be back to hang out with the fans before games. Like,
Oh, yeah,
could
I
you
knew-
imagine your house and your bottle of wine, Tyler, and TB12 walks
That's
out?
what TB12. He said it would happen for a nipper off of your Chianti.
That's a guy who's not drinking. He can sip out of my canteen any day.
Any
That's a
day.
guy who's not drinking Trulies. I'll tell you that much.
No. He said all the right things. He's like, you know what? I'll be back. Don't worry about that. I'll be back.
So
And
we
he's-
walk into the stadium,
Because
right?
everyone just feels like you own the guy. You know what I mean? It's just weird.
We had like enough time. We had like 15 minutes before kickoff. So we're like, all right, quick. We'll hit the concession stands now. Just get as many beers as we can and sit down, right?
Yeah.
So we order beers. It's chaos, all this shit. Finally, like another guy brings us beers. We're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What happened to the nachos? And the guy's like, all right, yeah. He gives nachos like in the pretzel. He's like, all right, like, yeah. And gives us just free nachos and pretzel.
You kept asking.
When it's just chaos is happening at the
I
concession
told you I
stand.
was so drunk, and I was. I told you I was so drunk, and I was at the fucking game, and I had lost my. I just like literally I had to drive home, and I was like, it's pouring out, and I was very drunk, and I was like, fuck, I gotta eat something, and I was like, god damn it, I can't like just eat that sub. So I went. They built like this new. It's like a little sandwich shop thing. It's called the Marketplace or whatever. It's right behind my seats. I didn't even notice it. It's brand new, and I went in there, and they have like pre-made food everywhere, and everything was basically sold out. The beer curtains were down because it was past the third quarter. So I'm just wandering around, and I just saw this one thing. It was fucking chicken Caesar salad. I was hammered, and I was like, just give me this fucking thing. I took it. I bought it. Embarrassed, I bought it. I forgot my fork, and I forgot to get any dressing. So I went out to the fucking seats, and the Patriots were driving, and my brother Frank's like, "What are you eating?" And he's like, he started taking pictures of me because I was eating a chicken Caesar salad by hand at a football game, like a fucking.
You didn't eat it with your pocket knife?
Idiot. No. Oh yeah, that's another thing. By
That
the
was
way.
interesting.
What a play by me. This knife is 110% metal. There's not an inkling of fucking rubber or any other thing on it. I fucking, again, shit-faced, went into the game, went reaching for my wallet, which I have just a card wallet, so it was in my front pocket, and my knife fell out of my pocket onto the concrete. I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, nothing went off. I went right through the metal detectors.
Brings me back to my point I made on week 1 of this podcast is that terrorists are just not doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
They could be so much better, but they stink.
Yeah.
Fuck terrorists. They suck.
I felt bad. I mean, honestly, I was just showing my brothers. I was like, look what I did. I
was there.
I tweeted about it, and
was there
everyone was
at
like,
halftime.
holy shit. And I was fucking, yeah, that was weird. And I was, I'll definitely do that again because I always forget that it's in my pocket.
Yeah.
I literally bought it because all I do is cut up Amazon boxes at my house. So that's literally, I was like, okay, I'm just going to buy a knife. And there's no other reason. Sometimes I cut stuff at work, but that's about it.
It's good to have. Good to,
Yeah, just in case.
make you feel like a man.
Little intimidation
Yeah.
factor. But all in all, I was happy with the way the Patriots played. I didn't take it as a loss. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like they're growing as a team. And they're going to only get better.
Yeah, but the problem is now they're 1-3.
Well, maybe
They're fine though.
but
They
maybe
started
they don't
out
make
with a
the playoffs.
hard 3. It was a hard 3, and they weren't supposed to win this one. Had every chance. They're getting better. McDaniels is getting better too.
They should beat Tua at home.
Yeah,
The Saints they're fine. They're going to be up and down all year. Like, Jameis is fine, but they shouldn't have lost that game.
No.
They just lost to the Giants. That doesn't make it look great, but
No, but still, the fucking Carolina Panthers are like, they're good. Carolina Panthers barely beat the Jets. They beat the Saints. They beat somebody else good. The Packers.
we just have to remember
the Saints
that
blew out the Packers. You just don't know who's great yet.
well, they have to remember they're the Patriots, and they're going to get everybody's best game. Like, that's just what's going to happen.
I don't know. There's so much of that anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like teams are looking at the Patriots like they're looking at,
Yeah, but still
Dynasty
Bills
Patriots.
there. Like, they still have they're still going to get people's best game. That's just a fact.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you expect everybody's. best
Wait,
game
we
all
didn't
the
talk
time.
about something absolutely the Slater getting an unsportsmanlike conduct. Everyone in the NFL should be fired.
I
immediately.
didn't rewatch that, but all I know is that they fumbled and we had the ball, and I was like, yes, turning point, because we can't win unless other teams make some mistakes, because all we do is make mistakes apparently now. And finally, one goes our way, and then they're calling Matt Slater of all people on.
And Slater said that rule is like he described it. He's like that. Well, you can interpret that rule in a couple different ways. He goes, I think I know the rule. I've been playing.
Yeah.
I've had one position my entire career.
This is all I do. So what was it? He ran out of bounds and came back in.
got
It was like
Yeah.
he was pushed back. He was pushed out, and he's
Yes,
supposed to try to.
Immediately have to come back in.
But he couldn't. There was 3 guys playing fucking. They were wall guarding him, so he tried to come in and they kept pushing him out. So he just ran past them 4 yards and then came in.
And did he
It was
cause the
borderline.
fumble?
I don't know if he.
Oh
caused the
yeah, he
fumble.
caused a fumble. He
And
destroyed
recovered?
him.
He looked
He
at
didn't recover it. I don't think he recovered it.
because he did. Yeah, he came in and kind of dove at his knees, but I wasn't sure if he got the ball or if he caused the fumble.
Oh, he speared him. He hit him directly in his hog, right in the meat stick.
Golden was all fired. And we should talk about how dominant, just before we end this thing, is how dominant Judon was in this game. He is easily, I'm not even joking, he's played 4 games for the Patriots. He is a top 5 Belichick free agent signing.
Do you hear what Uche said about him this week? He goes, I don't have many role models in my life.
Yeah.
Matt Judon is a role model in my life.
He did
It's like,
the coolest shit. Maybe the coolest shit I've ever seen a pass rusher do was he was dominating so hard. I mean, they have great tackles. Like, their right tackle hasn't given up a sack ever, I don't think, in his career, whatever. He was dominating him so hard that he got held almost on every play. Brady made like a clutch, long third down pass to AB, like a long one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. And then I look back, and Matt Judon's just dancing over a flag, with his hand out, doing like the comeback thing, just to the fans. He wasn't doing it to the field. He was doing it to the fans, and everyone was fucking losing their shit. They were like, yes, this fucking guy.
You couldn't. I don't know if you could see it on live as well as you could on TV because I kept showing it. He was like bull rushing grown men and making them look like me. It was a problem.
An animal. I'm gonna ask him to come on the pod. The Poverty Cast is gonna get Matt Judon on the Poverty Cast.
That was hysterical when that man said the Poverty
He called
Cast.
me the Poverty Cast. He doesn't know how many dozens of listens we get. Yeah. So yeah, I did get into a little bit of a battle. I mean, KP has been hounding the Spike King, the king of all fucking fake media. I got mad at him. I don't even follow him, but it somehow got onto my timeline as things do, and he said, "Come join us at the NFL." It was at the Patriots all alumni like gala. I was like, "What do you mean join us? You acting like you're fucking throwing it. What do you mean?" and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just." And then he did this thing where he was like, "This is the battle, how it started." He was like. I was like, "Oh, you act like you're fucking throwing it." And he responded. He was like, "Oh, well, I've actually been in tight with them since 2018." I was like, "Well, what do you mean you've been in working with the Patriots alumni? Like what? You like volunteer there to be like at the you're not part of it. You're not an alumni. You don't run the fucking thing." And then he goes, "Oh," and then I was like, "Oh, Mr. Kraft loves me," and he says, "I want to be there. I'm going to be on the lookout for phonies." So he fucking posted a picture of him on the sideline at a game with eye black on next to Mr. Kraft, like he was his personal guest. I was like, "Oh my god, this guy."
He's like 8 feet from Kraft. Like
yeah,
8
he took a
feet
picture, and
from
Kraft was taking a picture with a fan, like he would always do. I was like, "Oh, that's great." I was surprised I missed you because I was doing the game planning that week. And I didn't see you, and I just put a picture of me from 20 years ago up with Belichick, like because it's meaningless, just as like his Kraft picture was meaningless. And that kid, the fucking guy, his white knight. He's got a white knight who I'm confirmed is definitely a burner. Come to White Knight for the Spike King. It was like, wow, great picture from 10 years ago, dude. I was like, dude, are you following the thread? I'm fucking second to do that. You can't call me out. I'm correct. He did call it a poverty cast. And I
That
didn't
was
like
a good
that.
line. That one, yeah. The poverty.
That was a
cast
good
is-
one.
That is funny. That should be. I'm surprised. I mean,
We should rename it the Poverty Cast. The Malcolm Go Poverty
I'm
Cast.
just shocked that that's not like a common thing that I see all the time.
Yeah, people call stuff poverty things, like the poverty franchise, the poverty.
I know, but poverty cast is just so perfect.
It does, like,
It
fit.
feels like it should be like that should have been day 3.
Whatever.
People
I got last word on him, and he didn't block me, so I respect that. But I got the last word on him. I said, "You're white knighting some Twitter guy. Like, why do you care so much about this guy?" And you're wrong. And I was correct. And
I tell you, anyone like any Boston guy who's like his Twitter handle's like Bleed Green or something like that. It's just
Yeah.
that just makes me sick.
you like
It's
the
like-
Celtics more than anyone, do you? Fucking really get rock hard when fucking Tatum runs onto the hardwood. Shut the fuck up. Basketball stinks. The last 5 minutes takes 6 hours, and nobody wants to watch it, except for when it's March Madness, and I can root for fucking a random mid-major to win it all.
It is a Patriots and a Bruins city. And I'm a Sox guy. Y'all don't like the Henrys, so we won't talk
No,
about
I
that.
heard they won last night, though.
Oh, great game.
In dominating fashion.
I've watched 0 minutes of Red Sox baseball in 2 years, and I'm proud to say that I'm a retired Red Sox fan, just as my Brady jersey has been retired. So was my Red Sox.
The wife put up a good picture of you looking very, 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 very handsome.
Yeah, that was it. That was the last day.
I did come here to drop some stuff off like before the tailgate because
Yeah,
we ended
it
up
was the first
parking.
day at school.
We parked up the street. Tony was sitting in his car by himself
I was
with
ready
all his
to
stuff
go.
on.
I was so ready to go. No, like I was like, okay, Tyler's gonna be here any minute, and Frankie should be here soon, and we're ready to go. Big day for me. I told you, it was like Christmas. I was up so early, waiting all day because it's a night game. So I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, getting ready for like 2:00 so I can leave. Just sucked.
Do you know the like across from the liquor store? There's like that motel, that like yellow motel that's kind of like run down a little bit. It's maybe like a half mile from the stadium, up on the right.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like this yellow
Yeah.
they park there, right? So we were driving by and like we were looking. There's just 2 doors next to each other, just open, just like they're to the motel rooms, just completely filled with like trash and garbage, like just people just shooting up in this motel, right? So fuck, like this isn't the lot that we because we got the lot on the app.
Yeah.
We pull up to the next one. We pull in. It's this old restaurant that's not really open, but we go in. We park. The lady's like, "Yeah, the restaurant's open if you want to go in." We sit down at the bar, right? Because we're there early. You guys are like still an hour away. You're
Yeah.
We go. There's these two guys sitting there, and they're screaming at the bartender to change the channel. They're like, "The game's on CBS. The game's on CBS." The guy, the
What
son
game?
was like 21, 22. The father was in his 50s, and the son apparently is a bookie because all they were talking about with each other was gambling.
Was the
right?
line.
They're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, they're like, yeah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna win this money." Turns out they were
12-team parlay.
Turns out they're the father, right? The guy in his 50, borrowed his dad's car a week ago and was planning on returning it like in 10 more days. He's like, "Dad, would you stop pounding me? I'll bring the car back when you need it." It's like, all right.
Why are we together and you don't have the car with you?
Yeah. I was
He
like,
definitely
this is-
lost that car. He definitely lost that car in the parlay.
He's like, "I told you I'm coming Saturday with the car. I don't know why you weren't." It's like,
That was a 1996 Ford Taurus.
This is what a Patriots. That was a Patriots tailgate.
Yes, that's classic.
Yeah.
That reminds me when I was a kid and my dad we would have to park in a motel and walk a mile and a half to the dirt fucking parking lot.
Yeah.
And my dad would bring me no drinks.
These guys are apparently their seats are 10 rows up. They're like, "Oh, we've had them in the family for decades." I'm like, these motherfuckers are sitting 10 rows.
You 10 feet away from Brady and I have
Yeah.
to sit in 204. Although most respect to 204. So anyway, why don't we? I think we've gone through it long enough. What do we think about this week, boys? I think
This should be a win. Pretty
should-
easy win.
it should be an easy win, but now I'm nervous because
No way. David Mills is going to throw
I'm not
3
worried about
interceptions.
them, their offense. I'm worried about our offense operating with David Andrews alone by himself.
I don't think there is any wins that we win by 14. Like I have 26-23 Patriots.
I think that they're going to win this game. I think Mac's going to get going a little bit. I don't think they're that great. I'm just a little bit worried. Maybe we'll just make quick passes again and try and eliminate the run and just go. I'd love to shove it in Jack Easterby's face and go out there. I mean, literally Nick Caserio has taken away every good player on that team on purpose to try and like rebuild it. So, I mean, if they lose, it would be an embarrassment. So I'm going to say that they're going to win 27-10.
I don't know how the Texans score. Did you guys did what? That guy
No, I
stinks.
don't. That's why I said 10. I mean, I give him. I'll give him
I'm
a
not.
fucking.
I'm not going to give them that. I'm going to go. It'll be like 24-3.
It's not bad. I mean, I love it. I just need. I need to see. We need to see Mac open up more. He keeps getting a little bit more to it every single week. He's opening it up a little bit more.
Do we want to
Those
cover the
deep-
Hogs or?
Who
No.
the Hogs got this week?
They got Ole Miss in Ole Miss. We typically have been very good against them, but both teams are coming off horrendous losses.
Yeah, both of them got blown out by the big guns in the SEC. So how does that hurt our SEC title chances? Adversely.
We just got to win out. Just got to win out, and we win the West.
You gotta win
I
big.
mean, in all seriousness, this is me being a delusional Hog fan. You can beat LSU, you can beat Mississippi State, you can beat Missouri, you can beat everybody, and then you've got Bama second to last week. Don't tell me
Where is
there's
it?
a
It's in
chance.
Alabama.
No, it's in Fayetteville.
Sweet though. That's a great. That's going to be a huge game.
I mean, if they win out and they've only have one loss at that point.
Yeah, if they only have one loss that time, they're going to be in the top 5, I would assume, and then Alabama will be 1, so it'll be like a top 5 matchup in Arkansas.
And Arkansas will lose 65 to
They would lose
7.
by 40, but
That's-
it'd be sweet.
That must be unbelievable. Like he's talking about like Alabama, LSU.
These
Bridgewater
guys are-
Bears got Mass Maritime coming up in the Classic.
Dude, that's a fucking but that's
a 6-2 and a 6-2.
That's a Division 12 Massachusetts team. I went to Syracuse University. They played the University of Albany one week. I'm like, did they have? Was it flag football we're playing this week? Is this flag? Because they play.
Y'all will experience it next week. Next year, y'all are coming to a Hog game, and it is going to be the time of your life.
Florida State lost to Jacksonville State this year, right? Who is, I think, they're a Division AA school, and Syracuse lost to Florida State last week. So that's how good we're doing. All right. Until next week, go Pats, go.
do your job. All right, don't try to make too much out of it. Just do your job. 7, 8 months ago, right? All for this moment. It's about honor. It's about respect. We win this game, you're honored. Your kids are honored. Your families are honored. We're all three.
Stack receivers, two to the right. Russell Wilson extends the hands he has. Wilson, quick throw. And it's intercepted. Intercepted by Malcolm Butler. Butler has it at the 1. Malcolm Butler stepping out.
Warner goes back to throw, and here's the blitz by Mike Vrabel. The pass is intercepted. It's caught by Taiwan. 30, 25, 20, 15, touchdown. Taiwan picks it up and takes it to the house. For Adam Vinatieri, 48-yard field goal attempt. Set to go. Snap, ball down. Kick up. Kick is on the way, and it is good. It's good. It's good. Adam Vinatieri moves a 48-yard field goal, and the game is over. And the Patriots are Super Bowl champions. The Patriots are Super Bowl champions. The best team in the Hey! Did it. I love you, man.
Did it, bro. I love you. I love you. You're a class.
You're the greatest quarterback in the world, man.
Hey, I love you, man.